Should we borrow more? There's a lot of people who say our debt to GDP is pretty low compared to a lot of other countries. Should we be borrowing more, maybe?
It's inevitable.
Yeah, we definitely do. We need to borrow more. And I think that's one thing we've known this government for, the President Muhammadu Buhari government. It has been borrowing right from inception, and most of his activities has been on let's borrow more, let's do this, let's do that. I see them borrowing more in 2019 to fund some of this critical infrastructure they put inside the 2019 budget. So I think we need to borrow more.
Yeah. Should we be worried about that? Is that a positive, you think?
We should be worried because typically most advanced countries used debt to GDP. But in our case, it's different because that's not a very good metric for our debt service because our revenues is mono tied to crude oil. So if we look at crude oil receipts to debt, it's inching closer and closer to uncomfortable territory. So we should really be worried, especially considering that we are piling on foreign debt rather than domestic debt that we can use local monetary policy to undo. So we really should be concerned. The incumbent government intends to issue another Euro bond. And internationally, interest rates are going up. The Fed has been hiking rates all through the past year. We have not seen any indication that they are going to slow down on that. The ECB, everybody's unwinding QE. So we really should be worried about how to repay these loans.
Yeah. I want to talk about the CBN governor now. I mean, I know that this year, in 2018, I keep saying this year. In 2018, we had a major shake-up with the Ministry of Finance. We had a minister who resigned, and we had someone who's come back in. I don't know how much of a factor it played with the economy, but in 2019, we might have a new CBN governor because the current governor, his tenure runs out in June, I believe, of June the 3rd of 2019. It could be renewed, but it could also be the end of him. I don't know. How do you see that playing out? And how much of a factor is Godwin Emefiele in all of this now? And what, do you think he should stay on?
Okay. In the last 2 years or so, I think when the FS issue started all about where we have, presently we have like 3 or 4 exchange rates. And to me, I think the CBN governor has actually done a wonderful job in the past years, making sure that the FS, our Naira, is a stable rate, even though we fall aside at a point when we had recession, but presently it's on a stable rate, and I recall the currency opened at 361 to the dollar on January 1st, despite the festive activities and all that. He has been able to peg the Naira at a certain level, and I think that's a plus for him. And so far, in also early 2017-18, we had issues with where we have the fiscal and monetary authority not aligning with each other in terms of policy and all that. That was when we still have the former Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, where we have different policies from the CBN governor and another one from the fiscal authority, and these are not aligned. So, but I see them closing the gap from mid-2018, where we now have an aligned policy between these two entities, the fiscal authority and the monetary authority. So far, Godwin Emefiele has actually done a wonderful job, and I don't know if President Buhari will be keeping him or he'll be staying off.
If he's still in office, then. If
he is still in office.
I actually diverge from his opinion. The central bank governor has really done a lot in stabilizing the currency by tightening liquidity. But on the issue of aligning fiscal policy and monetary policy, it is going to be very difficult. Considering the pressures we have, both outside and internal pressures, we need to curb liquidity expansion locally to make the currency stable and to curb inflation. While the government, in trying to drive infrastructural growth, is expanding fiscal policy. So I don't see how that alignment is still going to occur. Yeah. And basically, they are working across purposes in that respect. So maybe depending on whether Emefiele stays or not, or there's a change in the direction of the incumbent government, and they decide to pursue another idea in monetary policy, then maybe there can be an alignment with fiscal policy and the monetary policy, maybe with his. Well, in the absence of that, they will continue to work across purposes. That's what I think will happen.
Very quickly now, just to put you guys on the hot seat, let me start with you now. What is the one policy change you want to see happen this year with regards to the economy? Is there anything that you want to see happen?
Deregulate fuel prices. Let the
very
market,
unpopular.
Yeah, very unpopular. But if the incumbent government comes back in, or if a new government comes in, no matter whoever comes in, you have enormous political will at your beck and call. Expend this political will. Let this thing go once and for all. Let us take this and move on. Let our economy be reformed in that respect, and then we can see growth.
Yeah.
Deregulate the markets. Oil, electricity tariffs.
Interesting. What's yours?
Okay, away from the oil sector now, I think if President Buhari is actually coming back, or probably whoever is coming to the stage next after the 2019 election, I think what they should focus on is on how to reduce the unemployment figure. If you work towards reducing the figure, then every other thing will actually follows. So this will allow our youth to have a lot of things to do at hand, and it will also ease issues like hoodlums, kidnapping, and all that across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I saw something, I can't remember the candidate now because there's so many of them, sorry, who had talked about redenominating the Naira. Is that something that we should still be talking about? Is that important?
It's not really important. Ghana redenominated quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
High inflation still reduced the value of their currency. If you don't, redenomination is basically plastering a bandage on an open wound. The wound will get infected if you don't disinfect it.
Yeah.
Treat the underlying causes of currency weakness. Let the economy produce. Until we do that, we redenominate 1,000 becomes 10 naira, 100 naira, and then 2 years down the line, high inflation, economic shocks from oil prices, and then we're back to square one. So until we do something about our fundamental economic structure, we are going nowhere. Redenominating, we achieve nothing.
That's a very good place to leave it. Thank you very much, guys, for being here today. There's so much to talk about. I want to talk about the banks that are merging. I don't know if there are any mergers we're expecting this year. I mean, acquisitions masked as mergers and all of that. Looking at Access Bank and Diamond Bank in particular. Thanks for being here today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a quick break now and be right back. Please don't go away.